I'm just trying to move on with my life. I'm just trying to move on with my life.
I'm raising your children.
I am just trying to move on with my life.
I am just trying to move on with my life. I am just trying to move on with my life.
No, I'm so looking forward to the day that I get to put you in a nursing home.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Andrew, but my plan is to have an embolism and to die young.
We're all rooting for you. We're all rooting for you, but you might not be so lucky.
Yeah, well, we're all rooting for you, but you might not be so lucky.
We're all rooting for you, but we're all rooting for you, but you might not be so lucky. But you might not be so lucky. But you might not be so lucky. Well, we're all rooting for you, but you might not be so lucky. You might want to think about looking for a job. You might want to think about looking for a job. You might want to think about. You might want to think about looking for a job.
Well, in that case, you might want to think about looking for a job.
You might want to think about looking for a job. You might want to think about looking for a job. You might want to think about looking for a job. In that case, you might want to think about looking for a job.
I'm excited to meet them too, but not tonight. It's just too soon.
I just can't pinpoint a time. I just can't pinpoint a time. I need to get back into my 뭐지?
When did you decide that?
I really can't pinpoint the time. I have to get back into my meeting.
I really can't pinpoint a time. I have to get back in my meeting. I really can't pinpoint a time. I have to get back in my meeting. I have to get back into my meeting.
When did you decide that?
I really can't pinpoint the time. I have to get back into my meeting.
I have to get back in my meeting. Something must have been going on. Something must have been going on.
The woman killed herself. Something must have been going on.
Oh, come on, tell me, because I'd love to know what my father did that was so awful.
So because of that, your father can rot in there for our care. So okay, fine. But because of that, your father can rot in there for our care.
Fine. I will see him through this, but after that, your father can rot in hell for all I care.
For our care. For our care. For our care. For our care.
This! I spent 8 hours on a rock and a bikini for that painting.
I understand how you feel.
No, you don't understand. I have dug myself from dirt to afford these things. I have dug myself from dirt to afford these things. And no one is gonna take them away from me. No, you don't understand me. I have dug myself from dirt to afford these things, and no one is gonna take away from me.
You don't understand. I have dug myself up from dirt to afford these things. And no one is going to take them away from me.
And no one is gonna take them away from me. We didn't get a chance to talk. We didn't get a chance
to talk at Mary Alice's wake. Saying Paul wants us to go over on Friday. He needs us to go through Mary Alice's closet and help pack up her things. He said he can't.
He can't face doing it by himself. He said he can face doing it by himself. Face doing it by himself.
Can't face doing it by himself. Hey, Andrew, I spent 3 hours cooking this meal. How do you think
it makes me feel? How do you think it makes me feel when you say it's okay in that certain tone? How do you think it makes me feel? How do you think it makes me feel when you say it's okay in that certain tone?
it makes me feel when you say it's okay in that sullen tone?
Laid to rest on a Monday. After the funeral, all the residents of Wisteria Lane came to pay their respect.
As people do in these situations, they brought food.
Will do in these situations? They brought food.
Doctors say you're gonna be as good as new. You're gonna be as good as new. You're gonna be as good as new.
Surgeon says you're gonna be as good as new.
You always say the nicest things. You always say the nicest things. You always say the nicest things. You always say the nicest things.
You always say the nicest things.
Neighbor, I think she's been shot. There's blood everywhere. Yes.
You got to send an ambulance. You got to send one right now.
You've got to send an ambulance. You've got to send one right now.
I know what problem is.
You can see where he'd have trouble.
You can see where he had trouble. You
can see where he'd have trouble.
You can see where he had trouble. You can see where he had trouble. Where he have trouble. You can see where he have trouble. You can see where he have trouble.
You can see where he'd have trouble.
Plus, Marshall's found the love of his life, even if I was ready, which I'm not.
Which I'm not. There was something like from the movie. There was something like from the movie.
It was like something from an old movie,
like
where the sailor sees the girl across the crowd.
Mom, Dad, I have found the future Mrs. Ted Mosby.
Marshall, how have I always described my perfect woman? Marshall, how have I always described my perfect woman?
Marshall, how have I always described my perfect woman?
The olive theory.
The olive theory is based on my friends Marshall and Lily.
In a weird way, that's what makes them such a great couple.
He hates olives, she loves them. And in a weird way, that's what makes them such a great couple.
That makes them such a great couple. That's what makes them such a great couple. In a weird way, that's what makes them such a great couple.
You are unbelievable, Marshall. No.
There are two big questions a man has to ask in life.
You plan out for months.
One you plan out for months. The other just slips out when you're half drunk.
I'm really happy for Marsha, but but I just couldn't imagine sitting there right now. I'm really happy for Marsha. But I just couldn't imagine sitting there right now. I just couldn't imagine sitting down right now. Sitting down. I just couldn't imagine sitting down right now.
I'm so happy for Marshall, I really am. I just couldn't imagine settling down right now.
Yeah.
Tyrak. All right, I'm going to give the speech.
You are not giving the speech.
You are not giving the speech. You're gonna be stuck with these people for the next 5 hours. You're not giving speech. We're gonna be stuck in this people. We're gonna be stuck with these people for the next 5 hours.
You're going to be stuck with these people for the next 5 hours.
You're gonna be stuck with these people for the next 5 hours. What's the part that you know that I don't? What's the part that you don't? What's the part that you know that I don't? What's the part that you know that I don't?
What's the part that you know that I don't? Good. Thank you. With the right EP, you'll do great at 10.
I understand how much he appreciates you for your loving heart for him. He really looks up to you. I understand how much he appreciates you for your love. I understand how much he appreciates for your loving heart for him. 뭐지?
I think so too, and I know how much he appreciates your lobbying hard for him. He really looks up to you.
For him. Let his secretary know you're on your way.
I'll let his secretary know you're on your way.
I'll let his secretary know you're on your way.
We've been dating for 4 months, and I think that's too soon to meet her parents.
This is like a level 3 stuff or level 2. Can I get a ruling?
So that's like level 3 stuff. We're at level 2. Can I get a ruling? I have strict orders from Charlie not to say anything until he's talked to you first. I have strict orders from Charlie not to say anything until he's talked to you first. I have strict orders from Charlie not to say anything until he's talked to you first. I have strict orders from Charlie not to say anything until he's talked to you first.
I'm sorry. I'm taking medicine for vertigo, and I think it works because I got it.
You can't talk to me like that. You're in trouble, man. You can't talk to me like that.
You're in trouble, man. You can't talk to me like that. It makes a difference. Transforming the world as we know it. Making the world a better place. I firmly believe we can only achieve greatness.
I can firmly believe I can only achieve greatness.
Those guys built a mediocre piece of software that might be worth something someday, and now they live here.
There's money flying over the Silicon Valley, but none of it ever seems to hit us. There's money flying over the Silicon Valley, but none of it ever seems to hit us.
Money flying all over Silicon Valley, but none of it ever seems to hit us.
Now, Richard, when you pitched me Pied Piper, you said that it was going to be the Google of music.
Which is really rad way to pitch something. I like that. Which is really rad way to pitch something. Which is really rad way to pitch something. I like that.
Which is a really rad way to pitch something. I mean, I liked it. I thought it had application.
I did have applications.
Gives you the location of a woman with erect nipples. Now that's something people want.
Richard, you need to get in touch with humanity. Richard, you need to get in touch. Richard, you need to get in touch with humanity.
Richard, you need to get in touch with humanity.
Do you think we could? Do you think we can? Do you think we could keep?
So do you think we could keep a lid on this for now? I don't want to worry people unnecessarily.
So do you think we can keep a lid on this for now? I don't want to worry people unnecessarily. Do you think we can keep a lid on this for now? I don't want to worry people. I don't want to worry people unnecessarily. Do you think we can keep a lid on for this now? I don't want to worry people unnecessary. 모르겠다. 여기 왜 이렇게 낮아졌지? 파란 거? 새로운 걸 공부하지 않았다는 거구만. 그래, 맞아. 요즘에 좀 안 했지.